It though for Friday. Oh yeah, you got nothing to do. All right, guys, what do you got? Oh well, injury report. Obviously, Troy to come out later, but he'll miss. He'll be out, and took him through the whole process, and that is what it is. Other than that, we'll be out there playing with our guys, and anything else on the injury report after that, you guys probably don't care about, or you'll get later.
Is J.D. Bertrand ready to go, or do you, as kind of thin there at linebacker?
Yeah, I told you I was really confident. I'm sorry, I told you I was really confident in J.D. a long time ago, right? And it's just his opportunity to go out there and get ready to go play alongside, Caden. And I feel really good about what he's done. I feel really good about his progress. I feel really good about what he did in the preseason. I know that's your favorite time of the year. And then we had a chance to get him out there and go with some of our guys, get ramped up in special teams, the proving ground for us. And now we get a chance to get him out there, get some live bullets, man. I'm fired up to see him.
What's the biggest challenge that someone like JD is going to have going out there and taking some of their first significant reps?
I don't know. He's such an adult and a mature human being, such a mature young man. He takes care of himself. He's one of the guys you would kind of say if it was a rookie, you worry about him in a short week, but he's just not like that. He takes care of his body. He's always conscientious of what he nedes to do. He's always conscientious in his book and his study habits, the thing that he does with his position coach, thing that he does with his coordinator. He's been in the mix so much. I'm not saying I don't have any concerns with him, but I got very few or very limited that don't really come to mind when you ask that question right now.
The key for any backup is to prepare like they're a starter, and JD's been doing that since the very beginning. What have you noticed about his preparation just when it comes to that aspect of it?
The best thing I've noticed is it hadn't been a real change, right? Because he's been preparing that way since he's been here. When he was the fourth linebacker and we had all our guys, he was acting like he was a starter and preparing like he was a starter. He was taking a lot of reps, and this week he got a bunch of reps, and I got a feeling he's going to go out there and play really well.
Coach, touch on your respect and relationship with Todd Bowles going back.
Todd's going back. We're going back for a long time. And Todd and I both are from New Jersey. Obviously, you guys know we were coached by the same high school coach, and Donnie Soma. And Todd's a little bit older than me. He's a lot older than me. Who am I kidding? But I got so much respect for him and always have because of the lineage and the people that's come before you. You kind of know about and you talk about those guys. Todd's playing career and then even his coaching career. My young coaching career was first starting at Hofstra when he was coaching for the Jets, which was on the same campus. So I was able to go across as a young player, young coach, and really learn from Todd when he was coaching that secondary out there with that legendary group that he was with. And I was out there watching him coach those guys, whether it was Aaron Glenn and Ray Macon and some of the guys that he coached in the back end at the Jets, all the way through that whole process. Otis was out there. It was a good group. Victor Green, I believe. And he coached all those guys. I was able to watch him and maneuver when I was an inspiring young coach to go to the NFL. And to go from Hofstra to be able to get an internship with the Jets a little bit shortly after that, and then to move on to my career has been unbelievable. So, it's been full circle. Now he's in Tampa where I started, and we got a chance to go play against each other and do some really good things.
Raheem, to go back to the linebackers, Troy named NOC Defensive Player of the Week today. Curious as to how you've seen him grow, and then also just kind of what you've learned about him now that you've gotten to work with him in person versus maybe what you had thought of what he might be before you came here.
It's really funny. Like I told you guys, I think you think I was kidding when I came in and said I was really excited about some of these young players on this defense, and he was one of those guys. To watch him move around, with speed, to be highly energetic, and to do some of the things, I think he just brought to fruition what we had saw probably before everybody else. And to him go out there and get the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, it was no shock to me. And it was certainly no shock to me to see him get the ball in his hands to be able to run that fast and score a touchdown, because that's what I've been watching on tape. I saw it before. Obviously, you can always nitpick and get things that you can correct on people's game. And that's been the fun part, watching Barrett, Rude to get out there with those guys and absolutely help those guys become better linebackers. And I think we got a chance to see it firsthand last week with Troy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but in 2022, that's when the Rams got Baker, and it was a Thursday night football game he had to play for in 48 hours.
It was unbelievable. We got Baker Mayfield. He came in. We had a Thursday night game. I believe it was the Raiders. He walked into the building. He got the game plan from Z-Rob. Z-Rob walked him through, told him the offense. He took all the things, this is like, that is like, here's what we're going to do, is similar to what you've done in the past. We went to work, and we were able to operate. We somehow got a 2-minute game plan in for him. He had a walkthrough. He had a light practice, and he went out there and he won a football game. And we all had a lot of fun. He breathed life into our organization, because that was the year we were going through a rough time then, losing our quarterback.
What you learned about him in that situation that you kind of can use to prepare this team now?
It was like I know Baker is, right? But what I can do to use to prepare him is tell him exactly who he is. He's a tough guy that's going to go out there and compete at a very high level. And you got to know that going into all these games, right? We're talking about a guy that's been through the ups and downs of it all, right? Being a number 1 overall pick, really making Cleveland relevant, kind of becoming a castaway when he got hurt, when he played through an injury for a whole year with the surgery injury, and then having the ability to come back and find his legging back with us with the Rams till he go to the now Tampa Bay Buccaneers and becoming a divisional champion. So, like, for us going to play against him, a tough competitor that's ready to deal at all times and will not be fearful of anything, is something that you can tell you guys.
Short week this week for your guys. A lot of young guys on this team. What did this week kind of confirm in your mind about their resolve to get ready in kind of an adverse situation, 4 days, 3 days?
Our schedule's fun, to be around. When you talk about what you want to do and how you want to prepare, they're all hands on deck. And that is like the coolest thing about the team. Hey, here's what we're going to do. Here's the plan. Man, love this plan. Coach, love this part. Hey, my body's sore. What do I do? Let's go prepare this way. Let's do these things and get ready to go out there and play. And, like, they're just a fun group to work with, and they've been outstanding this week, and I'm fired up. Can't wait to go see them play.
Coach, you feel the energy around here? I mean, people are still talking about Georgia-Alabama game, the Braves in the playoffs, you guys with 2 home games in 5 days against division opponents. Do you guys feel the energy that's going on?
I tell you, you put that in a really cool perspective that I haven't thought about because I'm in the mix, right? But, like, that is pretty cool. Like, the Georgia-Alabama game was exciting. Obviously, watching the Braves celebrate with that Atlanta helmet on was exciting. Obviously, getting ready to go play the amount of games that we played in prime time has been exciting. I think the fans are excited. I think everybody wants more. And, I just love the fact that everybody's craving it because, like, that's how we feel every day. Like, you're talking about a bunch of guys just obsessed with what we do, and we love to go out there and play football. We love to go out there and coach football, and it's been absolutely outstanding.
Going back to Baker for a second, aside the fact that he's tough, what have you noticed about the way that he's played 3-4 games so far?
He has been absolutely dynamic, getting completions, having the ability to get the ball down the field, having the ability to get out there and orchestrate the offense, whether it be tempo or whether it be not executing of the offense, because it's a very similar offense than what we know. Got a lot of familiar foes over there and friends. So to be able to go watch those guys be able to execute the offense at a high level has been fun.
Is there something to these quarterbacks kind of having things flip for them a little bit later in their careers, thinking about him, thinking about someone like Geno Smith who's kind of really emerging again?
Welcome to the National Football League, right?
Is that just what it takes? Just like
you
got to go through these experiences?
I mean, sometimes, man, you got to go through it a little bit, right? Like, I mean, you can keep going. Out in Minnesota, you can talk about Geno and what he's been able to do. You can look around the league. I mean, you could say Baker has found it again, but, like, Baker was #1 pick and took Cleveland to the playoffs and almost beat Patrick Mahomes in a divisional game. So it's like, at the quarterback position, man, this is not something you can just walk out there and go into unless your name is Daniels or my man out in Houston. But, like, they've been phenomenal, but they're the outliers. You take a little time to go play this game,
Coach,
usually.
What kind of things have you done this week to address improving your third down efficiency?
The only thing you can do is just bring it up to your point, acknowledge it, find ways to get it to shorter third and downs, more manageable situations. You could do those things, but you got to just be able to identify problems, and then we got to go out there and fix them as a coaching staff and as players.
Anything else? Matt Ryan's going to be
Outstanding, my guy.
Oh, do you have a favorite Matt Ryan story?
I got so many of those, man. Matt is you guys know what Matt means to me, and that whole group, Julio, Matt, Mohamed Sanu, that whole crew, Taylor Gabriel, Calvin Ridley, just anybody that was on that offense those years I was coaching, because of the impact that they've had on my career and how to deal with superstar players and how to deal with guys who are absolutely about ball. And Matt was one of those guys who just absolutely demanded it every single day, and he brought it every single day, and he personified the toughness that you need in order to play that position in this game.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks, guys.